So while we historically see various sales hit the Nintendo Switch eShop with a cycle of deep discounts on multiple different digital-only games, we rarely see first-party Nintendo titles included in that list, much less the ability to buy them physically on multiple titles across the board. And in today's video, we need to break down and highlight all of the games that are on sale that you may want to pay attention to that you can pick up either from Nintendo Store or competing retailers right now. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. As mentioned, guys, today we are looking at Nintendo's updated sales and deals page that is available, and this is not only available through Nintendo, as if you're not familiar, Amazon Prime Day is ongoing right now as we speak, and it is something that a lot of retailers hop on board. Even things like Nintendo directly will sometimes participate and discount their own games when this kind of shopping mayhem is going on, because believe it or not, we are fastly approaching the holiday season as we're already well into October, and this is when people start to think about their Christmas lists and who they need to buy stuff for around the holiday season, as you can even see things like the ornaments hanging up in the top of the image here. But you do have from October 9th, 9 a.m. Pacific time to October 15th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, you do get the discount on physical options for games, which I think is notable. First off, because I am a physical collector and I really only buy digital when the deal is just quite honestly too great to pass up, or if it's something that the game's only available digitally. Otherwise, I will be picking up things physically, like the new Cuphead game that was announced for a physical edition. Not that Cuphead itself is new, but the ability to buy it physically is new, and that's how I'll be picking up that game. Still waiting on the Sonic Anniversary Collection to actually get that same treatment, and hopefully that happens soon. But to kick off our list today and highlight the first one that is just a $10 or 20% discount, this is Nintendo Switch Sports. Now, I wish I could recommend this game to you guys more enthusiastically, and while I did have some fun in it when I first booted it up, I definitely didn't get hooked in like I did to Wii Sports back in the day. Maybe that's just because motion control, motion-based gaming was new and a new concept at that point in time, but I can't help but feel like these Nintendo sports games recently are extremely light on content, and they have a updated roadmap schedule of free updates to kind of drip feed, finish out the game, if you will, as time goes on. I am not a fan of doing things that style personally, and I can't help but feel like unless if you really just get into playing online numerous matches with different people, that there is much of a reason to pick this up. Although I will say, if you do end up getting it, or maybe you own it already, definitely spend some time in the soccer game, because I think that was one of the new, more creative things that Nintendo did build into it and is worth at least a look. But again, this game's not even finished yet. We're still missing additional sports, and a updated roadmap schedule has already been outlined, and even the update that they committed to is actually something that got pushed back and delayed. Next up, we have Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury available for 33% off or $39.99. Now, this is a good pickup in my opinion, especially if you have not played Mario 3D World, which was released on the Wii U and of course ported over to the Switch, but you get a 2-for-1. First of all, they sped up Mario 3D World, which is actually a good thing. Not that it felt extremely slow on the Wii U, but it's just faster action this time around, and I actually noticed that when playing through it. Though I haven't finished it to completion on the Switch, as I played that game through and through on the Wii U, it was still noticeably snappier, better, and it just runs and plays better all around in my personal opinion. Then you get kind of what I would consider to be a beta test for what an open world or open zone type of Mario game would be with Bowser's Fury. This is by no means a full-length Mario game, but you can get through 5, 6, 7 hours of fun gameplay, just exploring the world, how it connects, having the fun mechanic of the Giga Bowser, whatever Super Saiyan Bowser will call him, or I guess he doesn't really deserve that title as much as Mario does when he transforms, because they definitely gave Mario a Super Saiyan form in this game. But this is a fun idea, fun mechanic, really unique, one-off type of thing, and I think when we see tests like this from Nintendo, it could be hinting towards their creative ideas and boardroom meetings going around suggesting, should we play with a open world or open zone concept for a Mario game? And I think we saw the first step to that in this particular release with Bowser's Fury. Now from there, you have Yoshi's Crafted World at 33% off or $39.99. That's a solid Yoshi game. If you know what Yoshi has been up to recently, you will kind of know what to expect from this game. It's fun, it's cutesy, it's kind of one of those more aimed at kids, very simple mechanical style gameplay, but I do think it's enjoyable, and I actually played through this one only in the early stages on the Switch and didn't get the full experience, so that's a little reminder for me that I may need to boot this up again and check it out. Now from there, new Pokemon Snap. It is literally Pokemon Snap from N64, but with far better graphics, and this is one that when it was being talked about, I intended to buy. I never ended up buying it, so this may be the perfect time for me to add it into the collection at $39.99. I like Pokemon Snap. I didn't have the most nostalgia for it in the world, but it is a fun, relaxing game to play if you just want to take a picture of some beautiful Pokemon. Not to mention, it's probably the most beautiful look that we get at Pokemon in terms of detail on the graphics ends of things, even more so than the mainline Pokemon games that we're seeing developed now, because it is all about that image quality. It's also an on-rails experience, so pretty much what you'd expect from a Pokemon Snap style game. Now, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. We have to spend just a little bit of time on this one because if you are a Zelda fan, you know we cover all things Zelda on this channel because I am a huge Zelda fan, and this is the origin story in terms of timeline as far as we know right now for the entire franchise. And while you can argue maybe it is not the best 3D Zelda when played start to finish through and through, I think with things like button-based controls being added in this Nintendo Switch version, there is no reason that any Zelda fan out there should not go through and experience this title. If you don't like swinging around the motion controls for 40 hours plus of gameplay, I totally get that. That's actually what turned me off from this game the first time when it was released on the Wii. However, behind those controls and when given the option to switch between motion and button, there is literally one of the best of all time Zelda stories, period, from start to finish. The goosebumps that come at the end of the game that I will not give away any of the hints or references, but if you know the series through and through and you didn't play Skyward Sword, this is a great opportunity to pick it up physically for your collection, and I can confidently say you will not regret it. Some of the most epic boss battles, especially towards the end of the game, the original attempt at making Link go to the skies as you are in Skyloft, you then hop down to the world beneath. It's not going to be quite as smooth of a transition as we will probably see in a game like Tears of the Kingdom, but this was the first attempt at that, and it is really a notable one. Not to mention, there are some very unique puzzles that you won't see in other type of Zelda games because of the era of motion control gaming it was in on the Wii, and I was so excited when Nintendo decided to finally announce that this would be making it to the Switch with all of the modern enhancements in HD. So in my personal opinion, 33% off, $39.99 is a steal for Skyward Sword that you can pick up physically from the Nintendo Store or other retailers as well. Keep in mind, a lot of these discounts we're talking about are also available on Amazon, Best Buy, Target, even Walmart, because people are price matching each other when this Amazon Prime Day is going on. From there, we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This, of course, is not a mainline Zelda game, but a spin-off title rather, and it has some crazy action. If you've played a Warriors game of any type, you basically know what to expect here. And if you are like me and currently immersing yourself in all things Zelda, I am playing through Breath of the Wild right now to really ramp up my anticipation and hype levels around the sequel, which will be Tears of the Kingdom. Yes, you can absolutely hop into Age of Calamity and get some great story and elements of this setting and characters of this current Zelda timeline that we are in with this title. They did a fantastic job on the story, and that's actually the part that sticks out to me as the highlight of these Hyrule Warriors games rather, because I never find myself spending hours and hours really enjoying the combat style. Not saying it's bad, it's absolutely an enjoyable experience. It is just a different type of experience than what you would expect with a Zelda game. Don't go into this with the mindset of getting a Zelda game, but rather a great Zelda story with some fun hack and slash, take out 100 enemies on the field type high intensity action game. So $39.99 for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. From there, we actually have a couple Amiibos that are on sale. I own both of these personally, but I do remember the panic when they were first out, specifically around the Zelda and Loftwing Amiibo. This was getting scalped on eBay for like 60 to 80 bucks shortly after release. Luckily, Nintendo has continued to produce plenty of them, and we have it now at $19.99, 20% off. So I guess they produced so many, they are now trying to get rid of some of the extras. You also have Metroid Dread Amiibo 2-pack, where you have Samus and an Emmy that is chasing her in the game. If you haven't bought Metroid Dread, it's not on the sale list today, but for the love of God, go pick up Metroid Dread, especially if you like Metroidvania style games. You have to really have played one to know the exact format of them, but puzzle solving, fast action, dodging, literally what I would consider to be a 2D action shooter side scroller at its peak. I definitely think that this was the pinnacle of what a Metroidvania style game can be. And if you're like me and you hope we're around the corner from a Metroid Prime remake / remaster announcement / just some kind of new info on Metroid Prime 4, you might as well go back and see what made the 2D games so great with this brand new edition that continues and actually wraps up the story arc for all of the 2D Metroid games. Definitely worth checking out Metroid Dread, and if you become a mega fan, get that amiibo as well while it is on discount. Now, we'll briefly breeze through the rest of this list, although I will say 66% off for Ori, Willow, and the Wisp is like a ridiculous deal. This is a fantastic 2D side scroller and a platformer at that, with some fun action dodge roll mechanic style elements in there as well. I almost compare it in my head a little bit to Donkey Kong Country. That's probably not the best comparison, but I do think that it scratches some of that same itch when it comes to exploring a 2D exciting environment. The art style and what they achieved with the look of this game is truly unique and enjoyable, and they do a great job of storytelling all along the way too. So considering you can get this thing at literally like $10 right now digitally on the eShop, definitely don't skip up Ori and the Will of the Wisp on the Switch anniversary sale for $10. I mean, it's $10. You can go spend that anywhere. There's also a Ubisoft Spooky sale ongoing right now, where you have the following games on screen that can be played or purchased rather at a hefty discount. The one that stands out to me is a more recent Assassin's Creed collection. The Ezio collection is 50% off at $19.99 right now. I think that's a pretty solid deal, especially if you are Assassin's Creed fans. So I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, all your personal thoughts and opinions on the newest sales that are available on Nintendo's sales and deals page. Are you going to be taking advantage of any of them? Are you going to go to your retailers physically and pick them up that way? Are you going to buy your games primarily physically or digitally as part of the sale? And is there any on the list today that maybe aren't in your collection that you're considering picking up? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before we leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around this topic. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.